Was sentenced today.
The verdict follows a week-long trial that included emotional testimony, body camera video, and the defendant taking the stand in his defense. Tia Ewing is here back from court. Tia, what happened today?
Well, what I can tell you is even though he did take the witness stand, that didn't help him at all when it came down to sentencing. 21-year-old Stephen Montano was sentenced to spend life in prison. The verdict follows a week-long trial that included emotional testimony, body camera video, and the defendant taking the stand in his own defense.
It was just an effort to get away and not be caught with a gun and go to jail. And how do you change a mindset by a life sentence? I mean, he had 3 of his gangbanger friends sitting in the back of the room. Nothing's changed.
Now let's walk through this. Back in July, the jury reached a guilty verdict in less than 2 hours, rejecting the option of second-degree murder. And jury members heard from more than a dozen witnesses, including Officer Andres Vasquez Lasso's widow, and watched body camera video capturing the deadly encounter. Montano testified that he was afraid of police and did not intend to shoot during the March 2023 incident. Prosecutors argue that Officer Vasquez Lasso was shot 5 times, responding to a domestic disturbance call. The family of Lasso chose not to speak publicly, but the president of the Fraternal Order of Police addressed the lasting loss the officer's family will carry forever.
It's a loss they'll never get over. And she said Andres was the breadwinner for the family. He took care of not only his wife, but his mother, his sister, his niece, and that hole's gone forever. Not just the financial component, but the moral support, the camaraderie. It's just, and Hispanic families are very, very close, and that's just something that's never going to be replaced.
Now, attorneys from the Cook County Prosecutor's Office, they described this. They said because Montano was under the age of 21 at the time of this shooting and killing, Illinois law allows him to be eligible for parole after 40 years. And since he has already served about 2 years, he could seek parole in roughly 38 years. Of course, this is a story we will have on our website as well, fox32chicago.com. Sylvia?
Thank you, Tia. Greg Bovino, the federal Border Patrol commander whose immigration enforcement efforts in Chicago sparked some fiery clashes, legal fights, and deep frustration in neighborhoods like Little Village, is now back in the city with new agents on the streets.
Leslie Moreno is in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood with how the community is feeling right now. Leslie?
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, I can tell you the Little Village community here is feeling fed up. People are also worried about what this return means for their families, their local businesses, and the future of their community here. In an unrelated press conference earlier this evening, Governor J.B. Pritzker confirmed the news that Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino has returned to the city, this time arriving with about 200 agents. Bovino was seen on the southwest side this morning near 33rd and Ridgeway, where agents in tactical gear detained at least 1 man. Bovino previously spent 2.5 months leading Operation Midway Blitz before leaving mid-November. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin issued a statement on Bovino's return, saying in part, quote, "As we said a month ago, we aren't leaving Chicago and operations are ongoing." The Little Village Community Council held a news conference this afternoon. They feel angry and exhausted over aggressive federal raids and enforcement actions they say have done more harm than good.
This is the chaos and trauma they bring into our neighborhood just days before Christmas, and this is, I think, what they want to, incite fear. And instead of having a little empathy, Christmas is right around the corner, and it seems like they have no empathy, like savages. And Gregory Bovino was here terrorizing the community and enjoying it. And that's what we want, actually, the community to see, and the people, that these individuals are not going after criminals. They're going after innocent people.
And we also spoke with local businesses here who say this is just another blow. Many of them were already struggling with sales following the last round of raids. Now with this return, many telling me they're once again bracing for more enforcement and more frustration as we head into the holiday season. For now, reporting live here in Little Village, Leslie Moreno, Fox 32 Chicago.
All right, Leslie, thank you so much. As you can see, it's a little bit breezy out there. Look at the sun.
That's
getting ready to say goodbye to us for the day, but, you know, she likes to make a slow exit.
And quite the exit, too. That's beautiful.
It is stunning. We're still a little ways away from sunset. That's not until 4:21, but we're coming up on that. But yes, it's another breezy day out there. Temperatures, though, if you haven't had an opportunity to get out and about, it feels so much better than where we've been over the last few days. Temperatures are currently sitting in the mid to upper 30s. But of course, with that wind, that is making a difference, sending wind chill temperatures for a lot of us down into the 20s to low 30s. So this is what it's currently feeling like across the area. It feels like 31 at O'Hare. Same thing in Gary, feels like 24 in Aurora, 30 in Waukegan. Here's a look at the next couple days around here. So we have a really nice warming trend. We're going to be in the low 40s tomorrow, mid to upper 40s. Expected on Thursday, but then a very strong cold front's going to come through, taking us from the mid to upper 40s down into the teens by Friday morning. But then Friday's high temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s. It's just kind of a one-day cool down. And then over the weekend, things are looking pretty good if you have last-minute errands or shopping to do. We're going to have dry skies. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All right, we have some breaking news to update you on. The son of legendary actor, director Rob Reiner is now facing murder charges in the death of his parents.
The charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Ashley Dvorkin has the story.
Nick Reiner not in court Tuesday. The 32-year-old has been in custody without bail since the brutal stabbing deaths of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner.
How was court today?
He now has legal representation, and according to his lawyer, Alan Jackson, Nick has not been medically cleared for transport, and his appearance cannot happen until then.
Every single inmate goes through a medical clearance before they can be transported to court. Every one of them. Okay. And that's a process. It's just a procedural issue, and he has not yet been medically cleared, so we will be here hopefully tomorrow.
Nick was arrested after his parents were found dead in their Brentwood home.
I'm here to announce that our office will be filing charges against Nick Reiner, who is accused of killing his parents. These charges will be 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special circumstance of multiple murders.
Nick has been open about his struggles with drug addiction and homelessness and was in and out of rehab over the years, though it remains unclear if his substance abuse had any part in the murders.
I think he was sort of in and out of the home, not really particularly living there. I know there's reports, he was living on the streets at the time, he was homeless, but that kind of goes along with the issues that folks like he deal with.
In 2016, Nick co-wrote the semi-autobiographical film Being Charlie, which his father directed, based on elements of their lives. The movie is about a former Hollywood actor turned politician whose son is addicted to drugs. While police build a case, the Reiner family is asking for privacy. As for Nick, he remains in custody at the Los Angeles Men's County Jail. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox 32 Chicago.
Well, today, Governor Pritzker signed a new transit bill into law that saves riders from the rising fares and service cuts that can occur. The legislation provides $1.2 billion to support annual funding for CTA, Metra, and PACE. It also includes $1.5 million that supports the Northern Illinois Transit Authority, which replaces the Regional Transportation Authority.
This new law is designed to modernize Illinois' transit systems from the far northern reaches of our state to east and west central Illinois to southern Illinois. We are bolstering operations and upgrading trains and tracks and buses, and we're doing it in the most responsible way.
The measure raises tolls on northern Illinois roads by 45 cents.
The group Southside Together is pushing hard to get a vote on a $9 billion quantum project. They say it's been moving forward without their okay, and it could totally upend life near their homes. This morning, organizers turned in 300 signatures at the Cook County Board of Elections. The petition calls for a referendum on the Sci Quantum facility that's going to go near the old South Works site. Many residents worry it could jack up energy bills and speed up displacement. One organizer put it plainly, saying, "We didn't ask for this."
I don't think that a data center could give any more revitalization to our neighborhood than they could have just done off from the top. So we didn't need a data center to revitalize our neighborhood.
Election officials are now verifying the signatures. If they qualify, voters in 3 precincts could see the question on the ballot next spring.
Closing arguments underway in a federal civil rights trial against 2 Chicago police officers. The case centers on the shooting of Ariel Roman. He was shot by former officer Melvina Bogard during a struggle in 2020 at Grant Station. She was acquitted of criminal charges. However, COPA found the shooting violated department policy and was unjustified. We're going to keep you updated on this story.
We're now hearing from Calumet City's mayor following a lawsuit filed by a former employee. The suit was filed by Kenneth Jones, claims Mayor Thaddeus Jones demanded him to make payments of $3,000 a month to keep his job. The suit goes on to allege in 2024, Mayor Jones and his chief of staff demanded $100,000 in exchange for continued employment. Keith Jones served as the director of emergency services and disaster agency for 2.5 years. The mayor's attorney says Mayor Jones anticipates the quick dismissal of this frivolous lawsuit in court and that the mayor will continue focusing on serving the people of Calumet City. In Orland Park, a judge has tossed out multiple claims against former mayor Keith Picow. The lawsuit filed by the village claimed he released confidential village documents after losing the 2025 mayoral race. Temporary restraining order was issued demanding the remove of the information from his social media accounts. The judge ruled the TRO was unconstitutional and violated his First Amendment rights. He says the lawsuit was a political weapon funded by taxpayers.
It's cost the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to sue me for a political vendetta. It's cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. And it really is a pattern of abuse.
He says he's confident the judge will also toss out the last claim made against him once their evidence is heard. You will now be able to order your cocktails to go at restaurants.
Yeah, Governor Pritzker just signed a new bill on Friday making the law permanent in Illinois. It's going to allow you to order drinks for pickup or delivery. This also gives a huge boost to restaurants and bars. Cocktails to Go helped struggling restaurants keep their doors open during the pandemic. The Illinois Restaurant Association says this is a step in the right direction to continue helping local businesses.
If you can get a cocktail to go along with your food, this is very, very helpful for the independent restaurants throughout the city of Chicago to offer cocktails to go along with food. So you can get, guacamole and a margarita. So it's very, very helpful.
Hey-o.
The law goes into effect on July 1st of 2026. Well, DePaul University is facing a financial crisis because of rising costs and a significant drop in enrollment among international graduate students. The Lincoln Park-based school has announced 114 layoffs to address this budget shortfall. According to the Sun-Times, DePaul was hit hard by the Trump administration's move to cut down on the number of foreign students studying on American campuses. In a letter to staff, DePaul leadership says this round of layoff represents 7% of its full-time and part-time employees. New at 4, a community-led housing effort on the south and west sides is now getting a major boost. The Chicago Sun-Times reports the Reclaiming Chicago initiative has been awarded a $10 million grant from the Pritzker Traubert Foundation to help build thousands of affordable homes, including a new expansion in Chicago Lawn. The project will turn vacant lots into single-family homes and 2 flats located in Roseland, back of the Yards, and North Lawndale. This development is expected to roll out over the next 5 years and targets families making between 80% and 120% of the area's median income. Coming up, a manhunt is underway for the gunman in the deadly shooting at Brown University. 6 people and a child are looking for a new home after a fire erupts at an apartment complex in Uptown. This happened at about 1 o'clock this morning. Officials say a woman was treated for smoke inhalation and a firefighter was treated for a minor injury. The Red Cross is assisting those who were displaced. Police are still looking for 2 suspects in connection with the stabbing in the Loop. Police say a 19-year-old woman and 15-year-old boy were walking near the Orange Line in the first block of North Wabash when 2 suspects approached and stabbed them last night. The suspects ran away. The victims went to a nearby Orange Line platform for help. Both are expected to be okay.
In Rhode Island, police are ramping up their search for the gunman in the deadly shooting that happened at Brown University Saturday.
The suspect was last seen on the streets of Providence wearing a hat and mask. These were taken just hours before 2 students were killed. Several others were injured on campus during a study session. A person of interest was taken into custody shortly after the shooting on Saturday, but has since been cleared and released. The FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest.
We are tracking down leads, canvassing neighborhoods, and developing intelligence. And right now, our evidence response teams remain on campus processing the scene. And folks from our lab from Quantico are documenting the trajectories of the bullets to reconstruct the scene. It's painstaking work.
The remaining fall semester classes have now been canceled.
On Wall Street today, stocks landed all over the place. Really, healthcare and energy stocks dragged the market lower. At the same time, investors worked through new economic numbers and kept watching AI stock prices as well. The line of people looking for work is apparently getting longer, even though the November jobs report shows the U.S. added 64,000 jobs last month, which was better than expected. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.6%. That's the highest it's been in 4 years. The numbers have put the White House on the defensive.
We know people suffered a lot under the policies of the Biden administration. We're working very hard to correct those problems. I think we've made a lot of progress over the past 10 months, but of course, there's a lot more progress to be made.
Federal Reserve will be looking to these latest job numbers as it considers a possible interest rate cut in January.
Well, this week may be the lawmakers' last chance to get a deal done on health care. A live look at the nation's capital where Congress is working to come up with a plan before insurance premiums spike.
Right now, successful vote seems unlikely. Here's Connor Hansen.
Congress is scrambling to come up with a health insurance fix before the end of the year. Democrats want to extend around $100 billion in COVID-era Obamacare subsidies for another 3 years to prevent premiums from skyrocketing for millions of Americans.
We want to avoid these increases that the American people are facing at the hands of Republican inaction.
But that plan, along with a Republican proposal without a subsidy extension, have both failed to pass the Senate.
Trying to get to health care before the Christmas recess will probably be hard.
I don't see any real movement toward a compromise.
House Republicans say they have another solution that could make it to the floor as soon as Wednesday. The bill would allow groups of people in the same profession, like carpenters or groups of small businesses, to purchase their insurance as a coalition to save money. The bill does not include an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies.
There's a real possibility they get a vote on it. I've certainly tried my best to provide for that, so we'll see what happens.
Some Republicans are frustrated with Speaker Johnson's approach and are trying to work around leadership to force a vote on a compromise bill with an extension.
The Democrats want to use this as an issue in the election, and seemingly the Republican leadership is going to allow them to do it. And it's idiotic.
This week is likely the last chance Congress will have to get a deal done before the new year. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 32, Chicago.
All right, today showed out a little bit, just like the sun is showing off right now. Look at that sunset.
The streets too, the jets, right? How pretty is that shot, though?
Dandelion, some dusty orange.
We're going with the colors again.
Yeah.
You know, I've been learning, Terrence. I've been learning my colors.
Nice.
We got our daughter one of those really large packs of colored pencils.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's the now I'm
like
picking up?
What is it?
Probably like 128, I think.
Wow, okay.
Oh, well, she only got the 60.
Well, you guys are rich.
It'll lead to very creative writing one day.
Yes, and she'll know a lot more.
Sassy writing, too, if there's any indication.
Yeah. Sassy? Did you say sassy?
Yeah, don't take after Uncle T. Lee, Maeve, if you're watching. Don't
Too
do
late,
that.
too late. The sass has begun. All right, temperatures out there today, we are sitting in the mid to upper 30s. We have gusty winds coming in out of the southwest, so that is making our wind chills take a little bit of a hit here. We have wind chill temps for a lot of us that are in the 20s to low 30s. Either way, it feels so much better than where we have been over the last few days. Futurecast taking us throughout this evening. We're going to start to see increasing cloud cover. Very small chance for some isolated areas of patchy drizzle to develop. So there's a weak little system that's going to be passing through. Again, the coverage very minimal. Most of us not going to see that, but we will see increasing cloud cover tonight. Temperatures are going to range from the upper 20s to low 30s by the time the sun comes up tomorrow. And then through the day tomorrow, things look pretty good. We're going to be partly sunny. Temperatures are going up into the low 40s. So it should be just a hair warmer than what we had today. And then taking us into the evening hours, notice all the way through about 6, 7 p.m. A lot of us are still going to be in the low to mid 30s by this point. So for tonight, temps are going to be fairly mild, upper 20s out in the suburbs, closer to the city, closer to the lakefront. We're looking at temperatures right around 31 degrees. It's still going to be gusty, though. We'll have 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, sending wind chill temps likely down to the low 20s. 5-day forecast here, partly sunny skies tomorrow, a high of 42. We're at 47 degrees on Thursday. Systems coming through, bringing us a good chance of rain, actually a 100% chance of rain during the morning. So count on that for your Thursday morning commute. Then Thursday afternoon and certainly into the evening, temperatures are going to come crashing down. So we're going from a high of 47 degrees during the day down to low temperatures in the mid-teens by Friday morning. It will be a cold day on Friday, but over the weekend, things look good. We're going to be in the 30s and 40s. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Emily. It is rivalry week again for the Bears.
Cassie Carlson has an update from Hallis Hall ahead of Saturday's massive game against the Packers at Soldier Field. Cheeseheads, you're getting melted. Come on back. All right, it's Bears-Packers week again for the second time in 3 weeks. And first place in the NFC North is on the line at Soldier Field Saturday.
Cassie Carlson has more for us from Hallis Hall.
The Bears held a walkthrough on Tuesday as they prepare for the Green Bay Packers Saturday night in primetime on a short week. And it's a game where first place in the NFC North is yet again at stake, but also a game Ben Johnson says they don't need any extra motivation for.
There doesn't need to be much of a message here this week. They know. They know what's at stake.
I hope to help keep bringing that excitement, to this organization, to Chicago, and then obviously on game days. They're monumental for us, and we want them to be here. We want them to support. We want them to travel well with us. We want them to be proud to be a Chicago Bear fan.
Show up and show out. Show up and show out. It need to be the loudest game we had all season. They need to rock that stadium. Soldier Field need to be shaking. And we know the chants they like to chant, and we're going to make them happy, give them something to chant about, and we're going to go put up a good showing for them.
As the Bears search for their 11th win this season, there are playoff clinching scenarios this weekend. They are in with a win and a Lions loss or tie to the Steelers Sunday afternoon on Fox. They're also in with a tie against Green Bay and a Lions loss. At Hallis Hall, Cassie Carlson, Fox 32 Sports.
All right, today was nice. That sentence has an expiration date. Emily will explain when we come back.
That's right. We'll be right back.
If you want total health care from a provider you trust,
Hi, Blair.
right in the palm of your hand, if you want soup, sweatpants, and zero in-person contact, if you want wellness wherever, our virtual primary care delivers with great website manner.
No worries.
So choose your doctor from our profiles and enjoy the healthiest online relationship you've ever had. House calls have evolved. Advocate Healthcare.
Now at 4:30, a doctor is charged with sexually assaulting a teenager. We'll go over the details we're learning just ahead.
A community is voicing concerns over a homeless camp at Legion Park.
But first, the budget battle continues at City Hall. Another day closer to a city government shutdown and still no budget in sight.
City Council members are wheeling and dealing once again today, but will it finally end with an agreement? Political reporter Paris Schutz brings us the latest on this story. Paris.
Guess what, Sylvia and Terrence? We have a substantive update here. There is advancement in this alternative budget proposal. It cleared a key hurdle today and will move forward. It passed a meeting of the City Council's Finance Committee by a 22-13 vote. Now, opposition alders introduced this plan this morning. It does away with the higher garbage collection fee. It modifies a rideshare congestion fee, and it adds in a 5-cent plastic bag tax, and then revenue from selling ad space on bridge houses and light poles. They say they could maybe get tens of millions of dollars from that. But allies of Mayor Johnson say, well, all right, why don't you give us some time to digest this other plan before making us vote on it?
I'm concerned that we are being asked to vote today on numbers that were not released yesterday, precisely because they could not withstand even a half day of scrutiny. If they cannot withstand 12 to 6 hours of scrutiny, they do not belong in our budget.
So the oppositional alders still say the main goal is to avoid a corporate head tax they say would be a jobs killer. Mayor Johnson is holding steadfast to that proposal, claiming there is no data to suggest that this $33 per head tax on companies over 500 employees would hurt the city's economy. So this opposition plan, the supporters of this plan say that most of Mayor Johnson's budget is intact in this plan, so perhaps he should sign on, but it doesn't look like he will, so it could be moving forward toward getting a supermajority of 34 members to override a potential mayoral veto.
We relied on the advice and counsel of budgetary experts. We put this together. Many people adding contributions. We brought it forth today. We're getting questions and accusations from people. Where's the other side's proposal? The other side's proposal that's been in the works for a year. This is our proposal. There is no other proposal.
So now that it's passed Finance Committee, goes to the full City Council for a vote. They've canceled tomorrow's meeting, but they did add in a meeting on Saturday, should they need to do that. So perhaps at some point this week, we will have a final vote on that budget, but expect a lot of arm twisting, a lot of pontificating, a lot of frenzied phone calls as both sides try to perhaps pick off some of those council members that are on the fence. And there are a few of them right now kind of waiting to see where all of this goes. But some movement here on this alternative budget. Terrence?
All right, Paris, thank you. A West Suburban doctor is facing some serious charges after prosecutors say he sexually assaulted a 16-year-old.
He has since been fired from Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin. Casey Crone is joining us now with more on the disturbing allegations. Casey.
Sylvia and Terrence, prosecutors in Kane County say the victim has an intellectual disability and was followed into a public restroom before being assaulted. Here's a photo of that doctor. 33-year-old Trevor Roston lives in Chicago, but worked as a hospitalist for Advocate Sherman in Elgin. He is also certified in pediatrics. Kane County prosecutors say in late November, Roston was staying at the same Elgin hotel as his 16-year-old victim. They are clarifying today that they don't believe Roston knew the teen and say the teen was not a former patient. Roston allegedly followed the victim, who has an intellectual disability, into a bathroom near the hotel pool, locking the door and sexually assaulting them. This afternoon, we spoke with retired FBI Special Agent Steve Lazarus, who says predators often look for vulnerable victims.
This is not the first time he's done this. The first time you get caught is almost never the first time you've done it. The second thing is it speaks to the deviousness of a predator like that, who, predators look for the weakest. They look for prey, thus the name. It just kind of goes to the sheer evil of these types of people. To get back to your original question, which was, what do you do if you do think someone's following you? Create and keep distance between you and them. And yes, that's where noise comes in, blaring noise. If you've got a siren, if you want to start screaming, some people say that screaming fire will get you more attention than screaming help.
Roston is being held in the Kane County Jail until his next hearing on December 29th. In a statement we just received, a spokesperson for Advocate Sherman Hospital says they are deeply disturbed by the charges. If you or a loved one needs support, RAIN's National Sexual Assault Hotline can be reached at 1-800-656-HOPE. Terrence?
All right. Casey, thank you. Several neighbors in North Park are demanding the city take action on a homeless camp at Legion Park.
They tell Fox 32 Chicago that it is becoming a safety concern after they've seen several fires and explosions just feet away from where they live.
Brett McCaskey is live outside Legion Park, and Brett, some neighbors told you they propose their own solution to city leaders.
That's absolutely the case, and they certainly know that this is a complicated topic, and they feel compassionate about everything that's happened here at Legion Park, but they want to establish a minimum distance between where they live over here and the homeless camp here at Legion Park, because if you see over my right shoulder, there isn't an alley separating the homeless camp and their homes. Essentially, their backyards and their homes are backed right into the park, and they were explaining to me why this has become a safety concern. So what you're seeing right now is just one example. This is a fire and explosion that happened here on October 28th. You see the fire department out here. You see at least one firefighter holding a propane tank at this time, because this certainly they didn't want to get this thing out of control right here. So in many things you saw just burned in that fire and explosion. So that's just one example of several that they've told me about where the fires and explosions were just feet away from where they live. And some neighbors don't want their kids in the backyard because they are afraid for their safety.
Happen, and people who are living very close to the margins don't necessarily have a lot of safety themselves, so they're more often trying to find things and do anything that they can to survive, which puts them at risk at times and puts us at risk when they're doing things like burning propane in the cold in an enclosed space.
Hey, I also spoke with another neighbor who described not only safety concerns, but quality of life issues, parties that go on in the early morning hours, garbage stacking up in the park, and drug use in the park. So Ellen told me they've been contacting the park district and the city about enforcing the rules, but feels like there has been only selective enforcement.
You're calling 911, you hear somebody screaming, help, 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 so you call 911. You later find out that the person, burned their face. It's hard.
So I reached out to the Chicago Park District as well as family support services to get their comments, to get their solutions about what some of the neighbors have been proposing, as well as ChiCare. So I'm still waiting to hear back and answer from those groups. Meanwhile, neighbors told me that they were promised that in the early quarter of next year that the homeless camp would be cleared out here at Legion Park, but certainly they feel skeptical about everything, but they're also worried for their safety at this time, especially in this type of weather. We are live in North Park tonight. Brett McCaskey, Fox 32 Chicago.
All right, thanks for that, Brett. Take a live look outside as we can see people gathering around the bean. I bet we're going to be seeing a lot more of that because everybody's coming to Chicago for the holidays, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Place to be.
Take in the views, the lights, the tree. I still have yet to get down there and see the tree.
Oh, so pretty.
I know. All right, time's ticking. We're getting close to that Christmas holiday, which of course is next Thursday. And by the way, I've been keeping a very close eye on our chances for a white Christmas. As we know, it's been a very snowy start to our season here, but unfortunately, for those of you that are hoping for a white Christmas, we have no major storm systems in the forecast really anytime soon, but also we're going to be seeing temperatures that are quite a ways above the freezing mark. So a lot of that snowpack that we have, that's going to be melting. So your wind chills right now, it's still chilly. We have wind chills that are in the 20s and low 30s. Right now, actual air temps are sitting in the mid to upper 30s. The next 12 hours around here, temperatures are going to be dropping down into the upper 20s in most suburbs. I think in the city of Chicago, we're still only going down to the low 30s. And then tomorrow, we're expected to be in the mid to upper 30s. A few spots actually going into the 40s tomorrow, too. So things are looking pretty good for your Wednesday. Out the door forecast, 31 degrees tomorrow at 6. We should be around 36 degrees by 10. And then eventually, it's going to be mild, 42, partly sunny on Wednesday. Thursday, good chance of rain, especially in the morning. Temps nice and mild. And then we plunge down to the 20s by Friday. We'll see you after the break.
Save big money.
U.S. Postal Service is recommending you send your gifts by tomorrow if you want them to arrive before Christmas. You can still send your gifts through priority mail until Saturday. All post office locations will be closed on Christmas and New Year's Day. Mail service will pick up again December 26th and January 2nd. You can check USPS.com/holiday hours for more information. If it doesn't arrive on time, just do what I do. Print out a picture.
There you go.
And show them.
Good idea.
DHL is also gearing up for a busy holiday shipping season.
This year, they're finding new ways to help you get your packages on time. And this is the company's busiest week of the year. They see a 33% increase in shipping. DHL says you should ship your gifts by Thursday to ensure they're delivered before Christmas. DHL Area Operations Manager Fox Moeller says the company is innovating to keep up with the demand.
We're the leader in international shipping throughout the world in over 220 plus countries and territories. We also get to utilize brand new technology like this. We get to utilize our electric vehicles and a lot of great things that have happened over the last 56 years.
Current tariffs and customs regulations could affect international shipping times. You can find more shipping information on DHL.com. Amtrak is picking up popularity. Demand is surging here in Chicago. Analysts at DePaul University say trains were full over the Thanksgiving and Labor Day holidays at Union Station. This report projects a 10% boost in passengers in the Chicago hub over the next 2 years. As for the upcoming Christmas holiday travel period, analysts say if you haven't bought your ticket, that is, now is the time to do so. More than 6 million Illinoisans will drive, fly, bus, and train somewhere over the approaching holidays, a 2.2% uptick from last year.
If you're in the market for real estate, maybe consider the old Chatham Cinema building. The movie theater is on the auction block with a starting bid of $350,000. The theater on 87th Street closed last year. It was built in 1997 and renovated in 2015. Some big weather changes on the way ahead of Christmas. Emily has the details coming up.
In the meantime, here's a look at your trip home coming up, hopefully. But look at that gorgeous view. Oh, it's busy.
Big delays out there.
Getting ready to go home for the holidays.
Let's see, on the Ike. Yikes.
We'll be right back.
We got a survey to share with you. It reveals how, I guess, some of us survive holiday family gatherings.
Not what
they
you'd
pack
expect.
emergency chocolate.
Yeah, not what you'd expect,
The Fiera Holiday Concession Survey, of course, it was done by a candy company, of about 1,000 people, found about 36% admit to packing emergency chocolate to help them make it through holiday parties and family gatherings. Around 59% said they consider chocolate and candy as a form of self-care during the holiday season. 33% even admitted to eating a box of chocolates they bought as a gift for someone else. So I assume if, like, I don't know, Hennessy did a survey, they would find that people use alcohol to get through family gatherings. If a drug maker did the survey, they would find that acetaminophen is used to get through holiday gatherings.
What do you use to get through holiday gatherings?
I need nothing to get through it because we have a good time. And, you know, I am the pot stirrer. So I enjoy it if there's drama. There's usually not, though.
You need the popcorn, right?
Yeah, I just sit back and watch.
Just wine for my wine.
Yeah.
But I have to wait for that now.
Yeah, you can't do that this year.
First, huh?
Maybe try the chocolate then.
I'll try it. I've been eating lots of that. Lots of chocolate. Yes. Anyway,
Whatever works.
That's another side story, but I don't know if it's for the stress or if it's for the, you know, anything else, just cravings. All right, let's get a check of what we have coming here in the next couple of days. So your 5-day forecast here. Tomorrow we're going to stay dry, but we do have a good chance of rain that's going to be here on Thursday, mainly Thursday morning through the midday hours. But then during the afternoon, cold front comes through, temperatures are going to begin to drop, and any remaining rain showers are actually going to transition over to snow showers by the end of the day on Thursday, likely lasting into Thursday night. After that, we're going to dry things out. Now, your high temperatures today, mid-30s for a lot of locations, but we were able to tag about 40 degrees at O'Hare. So one of our warmer days that we've seen recently. 39 for the high temperature in Gary. 37 in Merrillville, 36 in Chicago Heights, same thing for Woodstock, and 32 degrees in DeKalb. 5-day forecast, we are warming up into the 40s, low 40s expected on Wednesday, mid to upper 40s by Thursday. But again, strong cold front's going to come through. And actually Thursday night, temperatures are dropping down into the teens, and then we're only rebounding into the mid to upper 20s. So a one-day cool down for us on Friday. We can handle it because over the weekend, things look pretty good. We're going to be in the 30s and 40s on Saturday and Sunday, and we're expected to have dry skies too. So if you have some last-minute shopping or running around to do, I think things are looking much better this weekend than the conditions we were dealing with this past weekend. Your temperature outlook from the 22nd through the 26th, of course, taking us through the Christmas holiday. We are strongly favored to see above average conditions. So we've been talking about this for quite some time through the month of December, that the first half of the month was likely going to be below average, and that's exactly what we had. But the latter half of the month was expected to be warmer than average. So we're beginning to turn that page now. And again, we have 40s in your forecast starting tomorrow. Satellite and radar, things are quiet for now. Notice the cloud cover off to our north and our west. Some of that's going to be working its way to the south. So increasing cloud cover is expected tonight. Very small chance for some patchy drizzle. Most areas end up staying dry, and temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s to low 30s. Then through the day tomorrow, skies are going to be partly sunny. Temperatures tomorrow looking pretty good, low 40s for your highs. And then going into Thursday, that's when we start to see that stronger cold front come through. We'll have the rain arriving, especially in the morning hours. So your morning commute on Thursday is looking pretty soggy. Cold front comes through. Spotty snow showers going to be possible by the evening. And then temperatures are going to drop off in a really big way Thursday night into Friday. For tonight, 31, we'll have 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, so your wind chill temperatures are likely going to be a little closer to 20. 7-day forecast tomorrow, 42. We're going to be partly sunny through the day on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, good chance of rain. 47 degrees, though, so very mild before that cold air comes rushing in for the end of the work week. On Saturday and Sunday, low 40s on Saturday, low 30s then on Sunday. But then early next week, we're starting another warming trend. We're back up to near 40 by Tuesday. We'll be right back. You're watching.
Welcome back. A home builder is bringing his favorite childhood movie into reality.
Yeah, spending some coin, too. $7 million to build a replica of the iconic house from the beloved Christmas movie, Home Alone.
Chris Reed has more.
This scene might seem familiar to you. Two bandits arrived in this van with the intent to try to rob a child in this home who was left home alone. But this isn't Chicago, and it is Christmas. I'm Chris Reed in St. George, where a local home builder decided to live his lifelong dream and build the Home Alone home.
I mean, it could be viewed as certainly nerdy for somebody to go and invest $7 million into a home that's based on a movie that they happen to love when they were kids, right?
If the brickwork and windows don't provoke a Christmas-time deja vu, the OK Plumbing van with the Wet Bandit sticker will. This is home builder Nathan Schaefer and Strata Construction's $7 million, 6-bedroom, 8.5 bath entry into this February's St. George Parade of Homes. A replica of the McAllister home Kevin was left alone in.
I remember watching it, and a lot of us connected with that kid because it was like, dude, what would that be like to kind of be on our own?
There aren't many looky-loos yet. Leading into February's parade, Schaefer's crew will host community events where young and old can step into Kevin McAllister's shoes.
We want them to just come and like be looking and using their creativity, right, to kind of, and their imagination to find the things from the movie.
Architect Josh Warner said the exterior is nearly identical, but since the interior was actually a soundstage, they modeled 60 to 70% off the real Chicago house, thanks to an online listing when it went up for sale. Some features are pure St. George, an indoor pickleball court, swimming pool, an expensive pantry. While there's no basement, there is an attic and a movie-style veranda with glass walls.
I'd never done a Georgian home, so it allowed me to do a lot of study as to what makes up a Georgian-style home. So that, for me, was rewarding.
One unanswered question, how the McAllisters could afford it.
Our buyer pool definitely shrinks way down for a product like this.
I would reenact every scene.
Yeah. You've got that movie memorized, right?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Just the Kevin part.
It's a fun one. The first one is still the best, don't you think? I think Jake likes the second one.
I like the second one the best,
I just like
yeah.
it because it was original, I think.
Okay.
So, anyway, another celebrity Christmas decor trend getting some backlash online.
Yeah, apparently many are opting not to decorate their tree at all, leaving it naked.
Yeah.
Naked. The trees are only decorated with lights, but in other cases, there's nothing at all on them. Some say it's elegant with no mess. Others say it looks unfinished. Do you boo-boo?
My sister did that this year. I didn't even put a tree up this year.
Yeah, who cares about other people's opinions?
Long as
if
the
it
lights
makes
are
you
on.
happy, you do it. And then you ain't breaking no laws, you do it. All right, looking ahead to the new year, cabbage may be on a lot of people's table.
Yeah, the annual Pinterest Predicts report revealing cabbage will be the newest snack obsession in 2026. They say the low-cost veggie is only 22 calories and serves as a nutritional powerhouse. So I'm thinking like, what, Brussels sprouts, right? That's kind of a cabbage.
Yeah, look, little baby cabbage.
Yeah.
Cabbage is a great source of vitamin C, A, and K, and it can also improve your gut health. The report says internet searches for stuffed cabbage rolls jumped 110% this year. All right, a new world record for the most kisses under the mistletoe.
Yeah, more than 1,000 couples locked lips in D.C. over the weekend. In honor of the National Mistletoe event, the seasonal tradition broke the Guinness World Record for the most couples kissing under the mistletoe, shattering the previous record that was set in 2019. The downtown district president says events like these help bring people together in a joyous and
That's
warm
cute. You know what I thought?
What'd you think?
I thought it was just one person kissing a bunch of people.
Over and over and over again?
Yeah, I was like,
big
talk about
groups.
loose lips. All right, thanks for watching the News at 4.
Here's Don and Scott with the News at 5.
All right, you two, thanks very much. Now at 5, Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino back in Chicagoland. What are his plans for the city?
City Council meets today hoping to find a solution to the city's budget battle that is brewing. Could the city government shut down?
But first, we've got breaking news. The man convicted of killing a Chicago police officer learning just how much time he'll spend behind bars.
Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Dawn Hasbrook.
And I'm Scott Schneider. Let's get right to reporter Tia Ewing, who has the latest. So, Tia, how long will he be serving?
He will be serving the rest of his life behind prison, but he does have an opportunity to try to get parole, and we'll get to that. A judge sentenced 21-year-old Stephen Montano to spend life in prison. The verdict follows a week-long trial that included emotional testimony, body camera video, and the defendant taking the stand in his own defense.
It was just an effort to get away and not be caught with a gun and go to jail.
And how do you change a mindset by a life sentence? I mean, he had 3 of his gangbanger friends sitting in the back of the room. Nothing's changed.
Now let's walk through what unfolded here. You'll remember this. Back in July, the jury reached a guilty verdict in less than 2 hours, rejecting the option of second-degree murder. Jurors heard from more than a dozen witnesses, including Officer Andres Vasquez Lasso's widow, and watched body camera video capturing the deadly encounter. Montano testified that he was afraid of police and did not intend to shoot during the March 2023 incident. Prosecutors argue that Officer Vasquez Lasso was shot 5 times responding to a domestic disturbance call. The family of the officer chose not to speak out publicly, but the president of the Fraternal Order of Police addressed the lasting loss the officer's family will carry forever.
It's a loss they'll never get over. And she said Andres was the breadwinner for the family. He took care of not only his wife, but his mother, his sister, his niece, and that hole's gone forever. Not just the financial component, but the moral support, the camaraderie. It's just, and Hispanic families are very, very close. And that's just something that's never going to be replaced.
Now, attorneys from the Cook County State's Attorney's Office did address this. They said because Montano was under the age of 21 at the time of the shooting, Illinois law allows him to be eligible for parole after 40 years. And since he has already served about 2 years in jail, he could seek parole in roughly 38 years. Scott?
More breaking news now. Nick Reiner facing murder charges, accused of killing his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have a live report from Los Angeles with new details about the case.
Let's check in on our forecast as we take a live look outside. Beautiful tonight.
So beautiful.
So clear. Here's Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls.
Yeah, that is a stunning shot out there tonight. So we have mostly clear skies right now. And I'm sure you noticed from that view as well, there's a little bit of shine on the water there because it's a very thin layer of ice that's beginning to develop because of the cold air that we've had. But today's temperatures, we were able to finally rise above that freezing mark. We have kind of gusty winds coming in out of the south-southwest. A lot of us sitting right now in the low to mid-30s. Previously today, we actually tagged a high temperature of 40 at O'Hare. Wind chill temperatures, once you're factoring in that wind, down to 19 degrees in DeKalb, feels like 23 in Aurora, 28 at O'Hare, 30 in Gary, feeling like 25 at the Chicago Lakefront, same thing in Kankakee. And here's where we're headed over the next couple of days. So this warming trend that we've been mentioning, that continues Wednesday into Thursday. In fact, Thursday, some of us are going to be within a few degrees of about 50, but a very strong cold front's going to come through. That's going to send temperatures from 47 during the day on Thursday down into the teens by the time we wake up on Friday morning. So a very cold start, but then we're back up to the upper 20s. That's our one-day cool down before warmer weather is going to be here over the weekend. We're in the low 40s on Saturday, low 30s expected on Sunday. Tonight's temperatures, we're dropping down to the upper 20s to low 30s. We do have a small chance for some patchy drizzle. I'll show you where coming up.
Greg Bovino, the federal Border Patrol commander whose immigration enforcement efforts here in Chicago sparked fiery clashes, legal fights, and deep frustration in neighborhoods like Little Village, is now back in the city with new agents on the streets.
Leslie Moreno is in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood with how the community is feeling. Leslie.
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, I can tell you the Little Village community here is feeling fed up. People are also worried about what this return means for their families, their local businesses, and the future of this community. In an unrelated press conference earlier this evening, Governor J.B. Pritzker confirmed the news that Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino has returned to the city, this time arriving with about 200 agents. Bovino was seen on the southwest side this morning near 33rd and Ridgeway, where agents in tactical gear detained at least one man. Bovino previously spent 2.5 months leading Operation Midway Blitz before leaving mid-November. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin issued a statement on Bovino's return, saying in part, quote, "As we said a month ago, we aren't leaving Chicago and operations are ongoing." The Little Village Community Council held a news conference this afternoon. They feel angry and exhausted over aggressive federal raids and enforcement actions they say have done more harm than good.
This is the chaos and trauma they bring into our neighborhood just days before Christmas, and this is, I think, what they want to, incite fear. And instead of having a little empathy, Christmas is right around the corner, and it seems like they have no empathy, like savages. And Gregory Bovino was here terrorizing the community and enjoying it. And that's what we want, actually, the community to see, and the people, that these individuals are not going after criminals. They're going after innocent people.
And we also spoke with some local businesses here. They say this is another blow. Many of them were already struggling with sales following the last round of raids. With Bovino back in town, many are now bracing once again, for another round of enforcements and more confusion, as they say, as we head into this holiday season. For now, reporting live here in Little Village, Les Moreno, Fox 32 Chicago.
Illinois U.S. Representative Raja Krishnamurthy releasing a statement about the return of immigration raids. He says, in part, it is about fear and intimidation. I will use every oversight and legislative tool available to confront these abuses, defend due process, and hold federal agencies and their leaders accountable.
Tonight, a major change to public transit in Northern Illinois.
The governor signed a bill that ends the RTA and changes how trains and buses get funded. Terrence Lee is here to walk you through it.
So a lot of people are probably wondering, why was this needed? So let's walk you through what drove this change. Transit agencies said they were headed toward a budget shortfall without new money. You were looking at fewer trains, fewer buses, higher fares. So lawmakers decided to step in before that happened. This bill eliminated the Regional Transportation Authority. It created the Northern Illinois Transit Authority. That group now oversees CTA, Metra, and PACE. The bill directs $1.5 billion to transit. Now, that money came from shifted fuel tax dollars, regional sales taxes, and a 45-cent toll increase.
For families, for workers, businesses, children, and visitors, this is a once-in-a-generation investment that will benefit everyone, especially the overall Illinois economy.
For too long, our transit system has operated as a collection of separate parts, siloed, rather than as a unified regional transit network. The creation of the Northern Illinois Transit Authority marks a critical step forward.
They should have one app on their phone or one card in their pocket and one schedule. Transit should be easy, safe, clean, and timely.
So next, the new authority takes over planning and funding for CTA, Metra, and PACE, and those decisions set train and bus frequency and factor into fare levels as well. Scott.
Terrence, thanks for the update. In Indiana, Senate lawmakers will be discussing the death penalty in the use of a firing squad. The bill filed for the 2026 session in the Indiana legislature. And if it's passed into law, it would allow death by firing squad executions if medications for drugs cannot be obtained, or if an inmate chooses a firing squad at least 30 days before their execution date. Currently, 5 states allow for firing, or execution rather, by firing squad. President Trump plans to address the nation this week in prime time.
We'll let you know when. Plus, homeless camps in Legion Park are causing some problems. What residents want the city to do about them.
It's now day 4 in the search for the shooter at Brown University. We are digging deeper into the data of just how many school shootings have happened this year.
Teens and social media, we're taking a look at just how often they use it and the concern for parents.
But first, breaking news. Rob Reiner's son behind bars tonight, accused of murdering his father and stepmother. He is facing charges. Nick Reiner arrested Sunday on suspicion of murdering his parents, Rob and Michelle. He was scheduled to appear in court today.
But there was no hearing. Amalia Roy live in Los Angeles with more on this case.
Yes, good evening, Scott, Dawn. We heard from the district attorney and from Nick Reiner's attorney that he was not medically cleared for his appearance. So that will be after he's medically cleared. Today, though, the LA County District Attorney, Nathan Hochman, announced 2 charges of first-degree murder against Nick Reiner for the murder of his parents. He says that these are some of the most serious charges his office can bring against anyone. These charges could bring life without parole or the death penalty, but the DA did not say whether that is something his office is pursuing. As soon as Nick Reiner has that medical clearance, he will enter his plea of guilty or not guilty.
These are some of the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring against anyone. And we anticipate that the discovery that we will produce to the defense will be robust. It will be very involved. They'll want adequate time to review it. Do I anticipate it being particularly fast? No. I anticipate it being very thorough.
These pictures show officers arresting Nick Reiner about 15 miles from Rob and Michelle Reiner's home in Brentwood, where their bodies were found Sunday. Nick Reiner has spoken out before about his struggles with substance abuse, stints in rehab, and even periods of time when he was homeless. Nearly a decade ago, Nick and his father, Rob Reiner, even made a movie together called Being Charlie that covered many of those issues. There are reports that Rob, Michelle, and Nick attended a Christmas party at Conan O'Brien's home Saturday night. Some people who were there say they overheard a loud argument between Nick and Rob. We're still working to confirm a clear timeline of the killings, but we do know that someone inside the Reiner's house called police Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. local time. There are reports that the couple's daughter called 911. When police arrived, they found Rob and Michelle with stab wounds. Police have not yet said whether the murders happened late Saturday after the argument that was reported or closer to when Rob and Michelle's bodies were found on Sunday. Nick Reiner is being represented by a known Los Angeles attorney, Alan Jackson. Jackson's represented Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey in court before. In Los Angeles, Amalia Roy, Fox 32, Chicago.
Well, time to take a look at some national headlines you need to know, starting with President Trump planning to address the nation tomorrow. In a Truth Social post today, the president says he plans to speak at 8 p.m. Central Time. He didn't specify what he's planning to talk about. A homeowner takes matters into his own hands to stop a pair of teen porch pirates accused of shooting them in the act. We're now hearing the 911 calls for help.
He's heard shots, and then I seen 2 boys running. One on said when I came outside, one on ran up to me, said he been shot. Then the other one.
Are you with him now?
No, he walked off. The other one I gave, like I said, I gave him a shirt to wrap around.
Rakeem Bradford is facing several felony charges. This all happened last Thursday in Atlanta. Police said the 15-year-old and 16-year-old were trying to steal packages from the home, where Bradford shot them before they could take the delivery. Both teens are recovering in the hospital. The 16-year-old is in critical condition.
It's a sad situation, especially with them being so young and using excessive force like that on the teenagers. I know it's frustrating about your packages, but I don't know. I feel like it was too excessive.
Certainly people have the right to defend their homes. I would come out and ask questions before anything like that.
An arrest warrant for Bradford states he received a notification about the package while he was cleaning his gun. One of the teens claims he started firing before they even touched the packages. The search for the Brown University shooter now enters its 4th day. Police released a new batch of photos and video of a person of interest yesterday, hoping the public can help. The shooting left 2 students dead. Data shows there's been at least 75 school shootings in the U.S. this year alone. Following the chaos of the government shutdown, new jobs data out today gives investors a clear look at what's been happening with the economy in recent months. There are some warning signs. The U.S. added 64,000 jobs last month, better than expected, but the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.6%, the highest it's been in 4 years. The other not so good news is October's job numbers, a loss of 105,000 jobs, but many of which were government workers reaching the end of the severance period following DOGE cuts earlier this year. The White House is on the defense, trying to reassure Americans the president's economic policies are working. The Federal Reserve will also be taking a closer look at the latest job numbers as it considers a possible interest rate cut in January. Scott.
All right, Terrence, thanks very much for that. Let's look live outside. Big difference today in the temperatures, Dawn, and I know we're getting even warmer.
Yes, we're getting even warmer over the coming days. Today, we ended up topping out right around 40 at O'Hare. So some spots were able to tag that 40-degree mark. Most areas ended up topping out in the mid-30s. Here's where we stand right now in the city. 36 degrees. We have mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions and south-southwesterly winds of 11 miles per hour. That's enough to bring wind chills down to about 28. So there's still a little bit of a breeze out there. That's going to continue through the overnight. Your temperatures elsewhere, we're down to 31 in DeKalb. It's 32 in Aurora, 37 in Gary, 34 in Valparaiso. We're now at 32 in Woodstock and 36 degrees in Waukegan. Here's where we're headed. So throughout the overnight hours, we're going to start to see increasing cloud cover. And a weak disturbance is going to be moving through as well. So there's a very small chance that we could see a couple areas of patchy drizzle developing. I really don't think it's going to be much more organized than that. But with temperatures dropping down to near the freezing mark, again, this could be patchy freezing drizzle too. So that's what we're going to be watching out for. But I do want to stress that it's a very small chance of that happening. Most areas are just looking at increasing clouds. Temperatures by the time we wake up tomorrow morning going to be in the upper 20s to low 30s. And then through the day tomorrow, skies are going to be partly sunny. Temperatures, I think, pretty easily going to be warming up to the low 40s, so a very pleasant day. And then by 6, 7 p.m. or so, if you're going to be out and about, plan for temps to drop back down to the low 30s by that point. For tonight, 31 degrees. Most suburbs are going to be in the upper 20s. We'll have west-southwesterly winds right around 10 to 20 miles per hour. 5-day forecast tomorrow, 42, partly sunny skies on Wednesday. Then Thursday, we have a pretty strong storm system that's going to come through. We're going to have gusty winds, rain, especially during the morning, the midday hours. Then following the cold front, we have temperatures that are going to fall from the 40s, 47 degrees for your high on Thursday, by the way, down into the teens Thursday night. So a couple snow showers could be possible Thursday night. Friday, mostly cloudy, 28. And then in the weekend, looking dry with temps in the 30s and 40s. Back to you.
In your Health Watch, there's a new report out. It shows scrolling still a big part of daily life for American teens.
This despite mounting worries about screen time and mental health. The report from the Pew Research Center found most teens in the U.S. use YouTube and TikTok every day. About 1 in 5 say they're on one of those platforms almost constantly. YouTube was the clear favorite, with about 75% of teens saying they use it daily. Pew also found that teens are increasingly turning to artificial intelligence chatbots. About 28% use them daily. Researchers say constant screen use can disrupt sleep, exercise, and more.
Doctors seeing a troubling trend, people using AI to self-diagnose. Medical professionals warn it can do more harm than good. It can increase anxiety, leading patients to worry about conditions they don't even have. It can also lead to unnecessary tests. However, AI can play a positive role in healthcare as an educational tool after a professional diagnosis.
A new report by the CDC says COVID-19 vaccines in kids substantially lowered the risk of ER and urgent care visits for the virus this past season. Researchers say the vaccine was about 76% effective in preventing hospital visits among kids 9 months to 4 years. There were also 56% effective for kids ages 5 to 17. They were, compared to those who did not get an updated vaccine. Researchers looked at data from more than 98,000 children between late August of last year to this past September.
So apparently the way you fall asleep every night might just lead to serious health issues. Medical experts say your preferred sleeping posture could be triggering things like acid reflux. Certain habits may also negatively impact nerve health, leading to numbness and chronic pain over time.
All we do is talk about how much sleep we get or how lack of sleep we get. The bottom line is that it's also how you sleep, the position. So number one, you want to, most experts say you want to sleep on your side with a thin pillow so you don't kink your neck, and bend your knees slightly with a pillow in between. If you do that, you're going to wake up, hopefully, without any neck pain, back pain, and no numb arms.
Well, doctors also say sleeping in the wrong position can keep you from achieving the deep restorative sleep that you need.
The FDA expanding a drug's use to boost libido for older women who have gone through menopause. The drug Addyi is now available to some postmenopausal women under 65. The agency first approved that 10 years ago for premenopausal women who report emotional stress due to low sex drive. It acts on brain chemicals that affect mood and appetite.
The FBI needs your help.
A local doctor facing sexual assault charges against a teen, and there could be more victims out there.
This is not the first time he's done this. The first time you get caught is almost never the first time you've done it.
We'll bring you more on the disturbing allegations.
A man recovering saved from his submerged car, how officers managed to get to him in time. Time now for some moments caught on camera.
Florida deputies save a man from a car submerged in water.
Hey, come towards me, come towards me.
Police say the man lost control of his car and drove into the pond. You can see the deputies had to smash a window to reach the driver. Everyone is okay.
Frightening discovery in a Waymo in Los Angeles. Guy found hiding in the trunk of the car there.
Why are you in the trunk?
That's why, ma'am, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm over here. Yeah, they won't let me out.
Why are you in it?
Huh? They just put me in here.
Who put you in?
The
what?
The people.
Well, the man claims someone put him there, but gave no further explanation. Police did respond, but said no crime had been committed. Waymo is calling the incident unacceptable, saying the company is making changes to address this. Icy conditions in Connecticut lead to a dangerous situation on the road where an out-of-control truck smashed into that telephone pole after slipping on an icy road over the weekend. The driver reportedly driving too fast for the snowy conditions, but was luckily okay and able to walk to an ambulance to be checked out.
Amazon driver delivering more than just a package out in California. The guy's name is Connor. He went viral after returning that money that he found on a customer's walk-up, tucking it under their package. This viral video has been shared by a lot of people and has received a lot of praise, highlighting acts of kindness during the holidays.
Some feel-good food news. A TGI Fridays worker got a one-of-a-kind tip after her act of kindness was caught on camera. That's server Brittany Bell. She works at the Atlanta airport location. She helped a mother soothe her child who was having a meltdown at the restaurant. The mother shared the story where it quickly gained traction across social media. Well, TGI Fridays took notice and gave her special recognition for going above and beyond. The CEO went to the restaurant and gave her a $500 check. Well, some people said it wasn't enough. The mother then started a GoFundMe to raise even more money for the server who helped her. And as of this morning, it had brought in more than $10,000.
Nice. City Council meeting today discussing the budget battle brewing between council members and the mayor.
Are they any closer to getting a deal done?
I'm Cassie Carlson. The Bears are getting ready for Packers round 2 Saturday in primetime in a game where Ben Johnson said there's not much of a message. They know what's at stake. We have more on how the Bears can clinch a playoff spot this weekend later in sports.
'Tis the season.
The high school football playoffs are set to expand next season. How many schools now get a shot at the postseason?
Homeless camps causing issues in Legion Park. Now residents want the city to take action.
Multiple fires and explosions at Legion Park over the past year, and neighbors point to a homeless camp as the culprit.
Neighbors tell us it's become a huge safety concern and they want the city to take action.
Fox 32 Chicago's Brett Bagansky live tonight in North Park. And Brett, you found out that the neighbors have proposed their own solution, right?
That's absolutely the case, and they know this is a complicated subject, and they certainly feel compassionate for everyone who is homeless at this time. But they want the city to establish a minimum distance between the homeless encampment and their homes. So you're going to see a reason why that is. So in this video, you are seeing video of a fire that took place on October 28th. You see that was a fire and explosion. That's what neighbors told me what happened here. And they said it happened inside of a tent. You see the fire department out there. You see what burned at the campsite. And neighbors say there have been several that were just feet away from their home that happened over the last year. And one neighbor I spoke with told me he doesn't want his kids in the backyard because he is afraid for their safety. And these fires that were just feet away from their home.
I can't be home 100% of the time. And what am I going to do against an explosion? I'm a person, and we still are subject to explosions, and we can escape, but there's nothing we can do to stop them.
So within the last half hour, the Park District sent me a statement saying in part they are reviewing the minimum distance proposal from the neighbors, and they're looking into updating and reviewing their own policies, which includes enforcing Park District code to make sure any homeless camps don't reestablish. So a neighbor I spoke with talked about quality of life concerns and said she feels like the city is just selectively enforcing the rules.
So they are discussing it. The problem is the wheels are turning too slowly. Supposedly those rules may be approved by the end of this year. Is that going to happen? I don't know. So it is very frustrating. Things take way too long. I know I had written a letter about the concern with the explosion, and the response from the Park District was, well, nobody was killed.
So I also reached out to the Department of Family Support Services because you may remember when we reported just a few months ago here on Fox 32 Chicago that they were offering to help people who were experiencing homelessness here at Legion Park. So they are waiting to get back to me because I was asking them where this stands right now, because as you can see, it is in the middle of winter. It is very cold out here. So certainly this is an issue we're going to keep watching right here. But for now, we are live in North Park tonight. Brett Pagansky, Fox 32 Chicago.
A Cicero man facing charges accused of stabbing his uncle to death. Police arrested 26-year-old Santos Mendoza. It happened Saturday night. Officers responded to a home along 54th Court. They found 73-year-old Urbano Diaz with multiple stab wounds in his bathroom. Detectives also discovered Mendoza hijacked a car to flee the scene.
Now to a troubling case out of Kane County where prosecutors say that a doctor sexually assaulted a teenager.
He has since been fired from Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin. Casey Cronus joins us in studio with more on the allegations.
And that doctor is behind bars tonight and has been ordered to stay in the Kane County Jail until his next court hearing later this month. Prosecutors say the 16-year-old he abused has an intellectual disability. 33-year-old Trevor Roston, pictured here, lives in Chicago, but worked as a hospitalist for Advocate Sherman in Elgin. He is also certified in pediatrics. He's since been fired and is now facing several felony counts of sexual assault. Kane County prosecutors say in late November, Roston was staying at the same Elgin hotel as the 16-year-old victim. They don't believe Roston knew the teen and say the teen was not a former patient. Roston allegedly followed the victim into a bathroom near the hotel pool, locking the door and sexually assaulting them. This afternoon, we spoke with retired FBI Special Agent Steve Lazarus, who says predators often look for vulnerable victims. He recently posted a now viral video with tips on how to protect yourself and your family while staying at a hotel, and shares some of that advice with us, starting with keeping your room number to yourself and using the building's main entrance.
Think of it like an ATM. Would you want somebody sneaking up on you at an ATM, looking over your shoulder while you're putting your PIN number in? Of course not. It's a number that's important to you. It's a number that has to do with your safety and your security and your privacy, and you should guard it. Yeah, super convenient. Just go in the side entrance and walk up the stairwell, and you're putting yourself in two places that predators love: dimly lit side entrances and stairwells. Yes, I know that there are cameras in stairwells. Predators know that too, but it hasn't stopped them from using them. When you put yourself in front of the hotel, you put yourself in the most well-lit area, you put yourself in the area that's probably got the best camera coverage.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Advocate Sherman Hospital couldn't say much, but did share they are deeply disturbed by the charges. If you or a loved one needs support, RAIN's National Sexual Assault Hotline can be reached at 1-800-656-HOPE. Scott?
All right, Casey, thanks for that. Almost hard to believe a few days ago we were hovering just a few degrees above zero, and we're going to be, what, in the upper 40s tomorrow?
Upper 40. Well, that's on Thursday. But tomorrow, yes, we're still going to be in the 40s tomorrow. And, you know, after seeing wind chill temperatures 20, 30 degrees below zero, anything in the 40s is something that we can celebrate. Your forecast low temperatures tonight, we are dropping into the upper 20s to low 30s, and that's slightly above average. So your average low temperature for this time of the year is now right around 24 degrees. Out the door forecast for Wednesday, waking up right around 30, and then we're going to be partly cloudy through the morning. Temperatures by 10 up to around 36 degrees. Eventually, we're going to see those highs in the low 40s tomorrow afternoon. Then by Thursday, we have a good chance of rain in the morning. That's associated with a cold front that's going to come through, sending temperatures back down to the upper 20s for your day on Friday. Back to you.
Well, another day closer to a city government shutdown. Still tonight, no budget in sight.
City council members are wheeling and dealing once again today, but will it finally yield an agreement? Political reporter Paris Schutz brings us the very latest.
Well, Dawn and Scott, actually there is some progress. No budget yet, but it has cleared a key hurdle. This is the alternative proposal, that is. It passed a meeting of the City Council's Finance Committee today by a 22-13 vote. Now, what is in this budget from opposition alders? Well, they tweaked it up until the last minute before introducing it today. They've done away with the higher garbage collection fee. They've modified the ride-share congestion fee, but they're adding in a 5-cent plastic bag tax. They're legalizing video gambling terminals in bars and restaurants. That's kind of ticked Bally's off a little bit. And they're counting on revenue from selling ad space on bridge houses and light poles. But allies of Mayor Johnson say, we need more time to digest this before voting on it.
I'm concerned that we are being asked to vote today on numbers that were not released yesterday, precisely because they could not withstand even a half day of scrutiny. If they cannot withstand 12 to 6 hours of scrutiny, they do not belong in our budget.
So where does this leave everything? Well, this opposition plan avoids a corporate head tax that they say could be a jobs killer. Mayor Johnson has held steadfast to that proposal, claiming there is no data to suggest that this $33 per head on companies over 500 employees would hurt the city's economy. But the opposition say they've already heard from the business community. They do not want that. They're going to stand strong. And if the mayor doesn't sign on, then they might actually have a supermajority of 34 members to override a potential mayoral veto.
We relied on the advice and counsel of budgetary experts. We put this together. Many people adding contributions. We brought it forth today. We're getting questions and accusations from people. Where's the other side's proposal? The other side's proposal that's been in the works for a year. This is our proposal. There is no other proposal.
Don, Scott, it was quite a scene at City Hall today with lots of private meetings, backdoor negotiations, but in the end, a major political defeat here for Mayor Johnson as this alternative budget now will move to the full City Council. They have canceled tomorrow's meeting, but they did add a meeting on Saturday just in case they still need it. So we could be looking at a final budget by the end of this week that might not even have the mayor's imprint on it at all. Scott?
Interesting. All right, Paris, thanks for that. There's a new law. It takes effect next year. It makes cocktails to go permanent.
How it can help local businesses.
Okay, so you probably remember Cocktails to Go became a thing during the pandemic to help restaurants that were struggling stay open.
And now a new law will make that permanent. Sylvia Perez joins us now with more.
That's right. Cocktails to Go will become a permanent thing next year. That's thanks to, among others, Illinois State Senator Christina Castro. And this means the temporary law permitting bars and restaurants to sell cocktails and mixed drinks for delivery and curbside pickup will now go into effect next year. And it goes even further than this. It's going to create new rules allowing more small Illinois distilleries to self-distribute spirits as well. The Illinois Restaurant Association was a big backer of this bill.
This is very good for restaurants because 20% of their business these days are delivery, right? And if you can get a cocktail to go along with your food, this is very, very helpful for the independent restaurants throughout the city of Chicago to offer cocktails to go along with food. So you can get, you know, guacamole and a margarita. So it's very, very helpful.
Toya says a recent survey in Illinois found 9 out of 10 restaurants say they would take part in Cocktails to Go if given the opportunity, and 54% of consumers say they would be more likely to order delivery from a restaurant that delivers cocktails. This new law will officially take effect July 1st of 2026.
I want guac and a mark. Thanks, Sylvia. All right, see this rendering behind me? That's the quantum facility planned for the Old South Work site on the southeast side. Well, today, neighbors moved to put a vote between this project and their homes. This morning, a group called Southside Together turned in nearly 300 signatures downtown. They want a referendum that would let people living closest weigh in. The question would show up on the March 2026 ballot, but only in 3 precincts near the site. Organizers say the project got this far without resident input. And one homeowner said the cost of all of this already feels personal.
The quantum facility would be a $9 billion development down the street from where I live. People behind the facility are claiming they want to revitalize the neighborhood. Nothing about that development will serve our neighborhood. My property taxes just went up by $1,000. That ain't right. How much more would they go up if this facility is completed?
Election officials will now check the signatures. If they qualify, voters in those precincts decide next spring. The vote does not automatically stop the project, but it puts public pressure on city and state leaders to maybe change course. Scott.
All right, parents, thank you. Keep it right here.
A quick check of your forecast is straight ahead.
I'm Tina Wayne. Next in sports, Bulls trying to stop the bleeding, back to searching for an identity as the losses continue to pile up. Ayo Dosuru shares what he wants to see from his team. Meanwhile, Packers week round 2, a familiar foe for the Bears, but this time a different fight, especially with no Micah Parsons. The latest from Palace Hall next.
Emily, give us some 30s and 40s.
30s and 40s. You got it. I can do that. We're going to actually come close to 50 by Thursday. Even better. That's right. So it's getting very warm here in the next couple of days. And average is 36. So we're going to be in the low 40s tomorrow, mid to upper 40s by Thursday. A really fast cool down Thursday night into Friday. It's only going to be a one-day thing. And then over the weekend, things actually look pretty pleasant. We're going to be in the 30s and 40s with dry skies. So if you do have plans to be out and about this upcoming weekend, things look pretty good. This is your temperature outlook from the 22nd through the 26th. So taking us right on through that Christmas holiday. And we're strongly favored to see above average conditions. So the warmer air, the warmer weather pattern that we've been telling you about for the second half of the month is finally starting to take shape. And it looks like it's going to be lasting for at least a couple weeks. Futurecast through tonight, weak little disturbance coming through. Very, very small chance that we could be seeing some areas of isolated drizzle. Most areas end up staying dry. Low temperatures tonight going to be dropping down to the upper 20s to low 30s. And then through the day tomorrow, partly sunny skies expected. Temperature-wise, I think we're going to be in the low 40s, so a little warmer than where we were today. And then here comes that strong cold front. So on Thursday, we have a good chance of rain. In fact, a 100% chance of rain is what I have in my forecast for Thursday morning, lasting through the midday hours. And then this is going to be followed by a very, very cold snap on Thursday night, taking us into Friday morning. Temperatures are going to be in the teens, but again, it's just a one-day cool down. Tonight, upper 20s, low 30s, 7-day forecast, 40s the next couple of days. Rain on Thursday, then dry skies going into the weekend. Holiday travel is looking pretty easy to get through. Scott.
Emily, thanks. The Illinois High School Association expanding their football playoffs to include more teams across the state. Now, this proposal passed today expands the field by 128 teams. So there will now be a total of 384 teams making it to the postseason. The number of classes remains at 8. The season begins in earnest August the 10th. The first set of games on the 20th.
All right, Scott, Bears back in the win column after dominating the Browns 31-3 on Sunday, now turning their attention to a crucial division showdown with the Packers. It's the second meeting between the two teams in just 13 days, and this one comes with more on the line. Bears looking to avenge that earlier loss and gain more ground in the NFC North. Cassie Carlson has more on what's at stake from Hallis.
The Bears held a walkthrough on Tuesday as they prepare for the Green Bay Packers Saturday night in primetime on a short week. And it's a game where first place in the NFC North is yet again at stake, but also a game Ben Johnson says they don't need any extra motivation for.
There doesn't need to be much of a message here this week. They know. They know what's at stake. We feel as if we let them off the hook. And part of that was, us starting slow. Part of that was, the explosive plays and allowing something that we've been pretty good at, so far this year for all sides of the ball. And so, we want to go out there and play our brand of football.
It's what you play football for. It's what you dream about, the opportunity to play primetime football, rivalry game, playoff implications, seeding implications. I mean, you can't stack up. You got two prime QBs, two really good defenses. I mean, you can't ask for a better moment.
Coming off one of his best performances of his career against the Browns, Caleb Williams is as confident as ever. But the Bears offense knows it'll have to play well for all 4 quarters the second time around against Green Bay.
If I play how I played last, this past game, or if I play better than that, we got a real shot to do whatever we want in this league.
This time, the Packers defense won't have their top edge rusher in Micah Parsons, who tore his ACL last week against the Broncos.
I think it's going to be a fun challenge for us. I think it's something that we'll have to go into the game. Obviously, they have their defense and how they run and their system and things like that. And you can't forget they have other good pass rushers. Went against them a couple times last year, and so I mean, there's elements of that you take into account. But at this point of the season, I mean, it's a really good football team and really good defense.
As the Bears search for their 11th win this season, there are playoff clinching scenarios this weekend. They are in with a win and a Lions loss or tie to the Steelers Sunday afternoon on Fox. They're also in with the tie against Green Bay and a Lions loss. At Hallis Hall, Cassie Carlson, Fox 32 Sports.
Thanks, Cassie. Caleb Williams' incredible touchdown pass to DJ Moore sent the football world into awe, and our very own Jeff Weiris got the shot of the year, which you're watching right here. Look, if you're on social media, this has gone viral. It's so awesome, so good. Poetry in motion there. Speaking of being great, though, that was Caleb Williams' performance against Cleveland. And on yesterday's CST, Danny Parkins had some pretty high praise for the Bears QB.
I cannot believe
that he can make that play. It's Steph Curry shooting a 35-footer. It's no. Yes, the idea of the Bears having a player like that at quarterback is so unbelievably cool and awesome and fun and exciting. It was an amazing signature moment for him. So no, I thought he was spectacular.
You guys remember that Packers-Seahawks game where the Packers blew it? It was that level of, oh my gosh, what is happening? What are their Super Bowl chances? What are their playoff chances? So a lot of big picture questions Green Bay now has to answer and prove, now that they don't have Micah Parsons. But this is, guys, a massive loss for not only Green Bay, but for the NFL.
Look, when the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson last year, they lost a lot in terms of their pass rush. And I know Green Bay has other guys that can get after the quarterback, but that is a game-changing player that won't be there.
I can tell you, as a Bears fan, as a Bears reporter here in Chicago, I wish Micah Parsons was playing in this game.
All right, you heard Lou Canellis. 3 games left. The Bears in must-win mode, and this Saturday it is round 2 against the Packers. Join Lou and the rest of the NFC North crew for First and North, streaming at 6 on our Fox local app, and then at 9:30, catch it right here on Fox 32 Chicago. Meanwhile, the Bulls continue to stumble their way through the NBA season, losing 8 out of their last 9. Most recently, a loss to a Pelicans team that's now beaten them not once, but twice this season. Get this, 2 of the Pelicans' few wins this season have come against the Bulls. Their biggest challenge right now, rediscovering their identity as they try to get back to who they were when they opened the season 6-1. Ayo Dosunmu believes it all starts with their effort.
Like Coach said, everyone comes in here and shoots. You see after practice, everyone in here shooting. Everyone wants to make shots, right? But you can't control that. But you can control effort, playing hard. We started off 5-0. Not to keep bringing it up because it's over with, but all those games, it was close games. We was playing hard, and I think I get back to that. And that's the main recipe. We're not playing hard enough, and we're not giving ourselves a chance to win. So that's the main thing that I'm harping on. Just everyone playing harder. If you play.
Bulls back at the UC tomorrow, taking on Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Hawks today on a 3-game road trip. They face the Toronto Maple Leafs at 6 p.m. We're back with more after this break.
Fox.
We're out of time. Thanks for joining us at 5.
Now you can stream us on your smart TV with Fox Local.
We're on all the platforms.
Family Feud is next. We'll see you at 9.
Make the most.